Episode 288. Why don't you come back? Then Serena gazed at him, her eyes still wet. Do you think I lied to you, Keith?
Serena, calm down.
Keith faced her questioning with no panic. Just when she had finished telling him the story, there had already been a conjecture in his mind. However, this conjecture was just a guess and he needed to verify it. At that moment, her attitude, he looked calm as usual and whispered to her,
I believe in my brother. Now the most direct way is to expose the true face of Spencer Cox.
Serena sat down and held her head, feeling like it was hard to accept that. Knowing where he was, knowing that he was suffering, she couldn't just go get him back. Why was there nothing they could do? Lila has taken cover of Spencer for so long. How difficult will it be to disclose her true identity to the world? Keith looked at her, his eyes deep and bottomless. Faintly, there was a resemblance of Jake. He was very calm and said,
For the same reason my brother has been trapped for so long. I don't think it will be easy to break in and get him out. If we call the police, let's not say whether my brother can accept jail time. Maybe they would transfer him before the police arrive.
What should I do? Then what should we do?
She lost all her logic at that moment.
Hearing his words, she roared at him. Are you asking me to sit back and ignore it? I have been looking for him for so many years. Are you asking me to just give up? There was the sound of the door opening and the lights being turned on. Serena wiped away her tears and leaned on the sofa. Nola and Carson came out wearing pajamas. Seeing them like this, the couple exchanged a look. Nola looked worried while her husband was quiet and calm. Keith did not seem to notice that they had come back. Looking at Serena, he said quietly,
Let me handle this. I will give you an answer as soon as possible.
What is it?
An old voice came over, and Captain Robinson came over with a cane.
In the middle of the night, are you two actually quarreling?
No. Serena snuffled, her voice choking. She walked toward Grandpa and held his arm. We're not quarreling, Grandpa. I will help you to your room. The old man did not go back. Looking at Keith, he knocked his cane on the floor and said,
Keith, did you upset your sister-in-law?
Keith stood up in a casual manner. He looked at Serena and said,
No, just discussing something with her. Now everything's been solved and I'm going back home.
Hey! Nola looked worried, pulled him and said, It's so late. Just sleep here at home. Your room has always been ready.
No, I still have something to deal with. Mom, go to bed early.
Keith patted his mother's hand and then glanced at Serena before he turned and walked out the door. Nola felt a bit disappointed, throwing a blaming glance at Serena. What are you talking about in the middle of the night? You both got so worked up. Serena was still on the verge of tears, shaking her head. She'd rather not tell them about something she wasn't certain of. In case they failed to save Jake, the elders would worry about it for nothing. Nola did not say much when seeing her swollen eyes, and instead asked her to go to bed early and then return to the bedroom with her husband. Keith returned home, took the laptop out, logged into his social account, and searched for this Jay's account. Jake? Jake Robinson? Keith's fingers moved quickly as he sent a short message. Jake was processing the file when he caught a glimpse of the change of the code on the screen. He clicked and there was a message popping up. Key Robert 2. Since you can send messages, why don't you come back? Jake looked at this nickname, Key Robert 2. Very much the style of his younger brother. He gazed at Keith's questions with cold eyes, pursed his lips, and then put his fingers on the keyboard. He first typed, It is not yet time for me to come. However, after thinking about it, he deleted that and replied, Safe and sound, no need to worry. Hearing the sound of high-heeled shoes outside, Jake's eyes dimmed and hit delete, immediately collapsing the temporary desktop screen. On the screen, there were only unfinished documents. Lila walked in and saw Jake working on the document with a smug smile. Good. Carlito, give him his medicine on time tomorrow.
Yes, Miss Cox.
He gazed at her back and his eyes became colder. Very soon now. Keith saw the message and immediately replied, Where are you? No response. He looked at the computer screen, became silent for a long time, took a cigarette, and slowly lit it. Lying on the sofa, his eyes half closed, he began to ponder. The contract signing with CE was scheduled on Friday afternoon. Keith went there while Serena could not calm herself down in the office. She couldn't wait to know what level of confrontation he and Lila had. As she was panicking, she received a call from home. Seeing it was from the old house, Serena adjusted her mood and picked it up. "Hello?" "Mom!" The sweet voice soothed her mood. She couldn't help smiling and answering. "Mom, Great-Grandpa said tomorrow is Saturday." Julianne's voice was very sweet and tender, almost melting Serena's heart. Serena sat in a chair and stretched, asking softly, "Why is Saturday important?" Julianne looked at the old man who was gazing at her expectantly with a pair of black eyes and said the line that the old man had already prepared for her. "I want to go to the amusement park, and Jared and Seth want to go too. Can you take us there tomorrow, Mommy?" Tomorrow? Serena seems to be considering it. Does Julianne want to go tomorrow only? Julianne hesitated, looking at the old man who was instructing her on the side. The old man became anxious and mouthed, "Yes, say yes." She looked torn. She nodded and said, "I want to go, but..." The little girl's "but" made the Captain Robinson panic. He covered his wrinkled face with his hands and couldn't bear to watch it.